obviously we're really fortunate, excited. Got to move on quickly because here comes another one at noon in a couple days. Questions? None on the pizza?
What did you see on y'all's last possession? I mean, and the job that Russ did getting that rebound.
Yeah, huge. We want to play down here. We had one, and Justin Hill has made plays for us, obviously, and the ball's going to be in his hands, and more to come moving forward. We've got other guys too that we trust down the stretch, but just tried to get downhill and thought if we were neutralized, we could use one. And we ended up getting a couple looks there, and Russ made an enormous play, obviously, and then converted the foul line as well. Huge play by Russ.
Russell obviously comes through there in the clutch, but Jabri struggled. Noah struggled for a good long while.
Yeah.
You talked about Justin. I guess the key to being a good team / great team is winning when maybe it's an off night a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be in a conversation, to play some postseason, there's gonna be a handful of those, for a team like us. That if you're fortunate enough to get over the hump and win some or all of those, you give yourself a better chance, obviously, and we'll have more of those, and I'm sure LSU will as well. But it wasn't our best offensive performance again, but I think LSU is one of the best defenses in our league. We're coming off a game where, especially in the second half, Kentucky playing with Big League, we scored it probably easier than we normally will moving forward. So shouldn't be overly surprised. And I think, again, LSU had a lot to do with the proximity to Jabri, throughout the 40, the attention to detail, the defensive execution, just overall. They were terrific. Nothing came easy for us.
What goes into the decision to not call a timeout after the made free throw?
First off, who your guards are and what your strengths are offensively. We've been a team that is pretty good. If you look at our ability to touch paint, off penetration and draw fouls, our numbers have been pretty good all year. And we had a couple of guards in there that we trusted, to make plays. Obviously, probably LSU's prowess too, and their ability to take us out of some actions as well throughout the game. The fact that we called different guys' numbers a few times, and they just did a good job of blowing up some of our actions. So just an opportunity to at least try it, and enough time to use one if you needed to use one.
What's it sort of like in those last seconds where they get a shot? I mean, just what's sort of going through your head as that shot goes up, and you're just waiting to see how it comes?
My goodness, scary. And the angle, I was down there in the corner, and it was one of the best passes I've ever seen. And the footwork there in the corner to tightrope the sideline and the 3-point line and get a clean look off. Eager to see it on film, but it was nerve-wracking to say the least. We're really fortunate. I mean, great execution by those guys.
There was a long stretch in the second half where Silas seemed to be sitting for a long time. Were you trying to make sure he had a lot of juice at the end, because it seemed like he was playing really well?
Yeah, he was, and there's a lot of different reasons to sub guys in, to sub guys out. Sometimes it has to do with them. Sometimes it has to do with the other guy that you want to get in or out for him. The flow, how you're being defended, how you're guarding. Just there's so many factors. With that one, as much as anything, it was, hey, we want to make sure we can ride him down the stretch. We want to make sure that he can help us finish and get him some rest and allow him to hydrate a little bit. He was a true freshman who's playing a lot of minutes for us.
RJ Melendez had another big game off the bench, and especially that dunk in transition, really got the crowd going. What does he do that always finds himself having such a presence in transition?
Really competitive in transition. He's got good length. He's got ability to run through passes. He's really, really fast, and so his first few steps there, whether he gets the ball or he receives a pitch ahead, especially off of turnovers, long rebounds, he's just out. He's a fast player. He's got a nose for the rim in transition. Had a drive in the half court as well, you know, where he drew fouls, converting at a high level at the foul line too. But he's a guy like Justin Hill that you know, plays starter minutes and produces like a starter. He's a good player.
Mike, how do you play call or when two of your offensive stars are struggling from the
Yeah.
floor shooting? I know there's a lot of elements, but
Yeah.
how do you get a feel for that? How does the team adjust? I mean, that seems like a veteran thing when you're able to have tough shooting nights from Jabri and
Yeah,
overcome
obviously
that.
not very well. You know, I probably should have tried some different things. We grinded one out and nothing was real pretty offensively. But again, I think that has more to do with LSU's defense than anything else. But yeah, there were some possessions there where you're searching a little bit, of course. Thank goodness we were able to convert at the foul line. Russ's 4 offensive rebounds got us extra possessions, of course. Yeah, we gotta execute better against the best defenses
Well,
and
I
get
guess
better looks.
where I was going with that was the freshman's ability to pick up some slack. They mentioned Melendez. It got different guys stepping up
Yeah.
in different ways, it seemed like.
Yeah, I thought Blue Kane hit a couple baskets there where we needed one. You know, played with some confidence, played under control in the paint, and created those for himself. Continuing to develop, he's having good practices. But our bench, again, if you look at our bench, the 4 guys that played produced in a lot of different ways.
Obviously, guards get a lot of the love with the amount of the balls in their hands, but to see a big man have a play like that, just how exciting is that to know, you know, what he goes through on a game by game basis?
Huge. It's nice to see the big fellow with a game winner. Those other guys have had their opportunities, and especially coming off a game. I want to say he held 9 seals for layups at Kentucky, and tried to do it throughout the game today as well. And he's really buying into helping his teammates be better, and so it's nice to see him benefit a little bit as well.
When you say you guys grinded it out,
Yeah.
did your best Florida teams do that too? Like when you need these kind of games?
Yeah, definitely. You know, again, in order to be in the conversation, we got to win a lot more. But it's certainly better than the alternative. You know, and it's not going to be easy in this league, and it's the best defensive league in college basketball. And it seems like every time you play a team, you say, well, they're one of the best defenses in our league too. You know, who's not? Who doesn't guard you at a really high level? And they're rebuilding, and we're rebuilding, and you had 2 teams just fighting it out. And we can say ugly and grinded and all that stuff, but really, I probably should say more. Make the point more that you had 10 guys out there on the court, you know, for 40 minutes that were just throwing haymakers. You know, it was a high-level game of intensity. I know everybody that played in that game is going to be tired, sleep well, and need some rest because we both got quick turnarounds. But that was a competitive, high-level game.
I felt like the crowd was pretty energized, and there's a
It's
home
awesome.
court and a home court developing. Do you notice
Awesome.
much of an impact?
Absolutely. We were better defensively in the second half, and I thought that had a lot to do with our fans. It got loud in there, and I'm really appreciative.
As a coach, trying to, you know, like you said, you're rebuilding and kind of building the culture of this program. How
Yeah.
much does that mean to you specifically to see
Huge.
students and fans get involved?
I'm super appreciative. I'm more excited though for our guys, but I'm also excited for anyone who was in that building. It was a fun game, you know, because it was so loud. It was high level college basketball, and the fans that show up and scream and jump on the refs, and you know, we're just appreciative. And also, you know, excited for them to experience. It wasn't like that last year. It wasn't that loud last year.
Right.
I don't know if that was quite as loud as the Tennessee game, but it got loud in there a few times for sure. And look forward to a few more of those.
Can you? What I think the guys were talking about the bubble drill. What is the bubble
Oh.
drill?
You put an apparatus up there on the rim, and you can't score. So it's when you shoot it comes off a piece of plastic sitting above the rim. Can't give you a lot of shooting confidence, but it helps you become a better rebounding team. It's helped us a little bit the past month. We broke it out post holidays, and you know, we did some 2-a-days, and we had the bubble on the rim for certain drills. And when we first started, our guys looked at us crazy because it was something that was pretty prevalent back when me and Antonio were playing, not in the past few years. But it's helped us. Our guys have embraced it, and we still consistently break it out, not for as long as stretches now that we're in mid-SEC season, but every time a shot goes up, you know, you've got blockouts, you've got offensive rebounding opportunities, you've got opportunities to go snatch it with two hands. You're in a fight, and it's been good for us. It's helped us a little bit. Obviously, we're not one of the best rebounding teams in our league, but we've gone from very deficient to adequate, I would say.
You've, yeah, I mean, you matched LSU tonight. I just wonder, is there a competition within the team? Somebody runs, or some win, some lose when you run this bubble?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Every day, the winning team has an opportunity to stamp the win with a 1-on-1. If they do, the other team's got to run.
Obviously, going to a place that y'all, you know, you're very familiar with. Just what are y'all in for on Saturday?
Oh, I'm just not there yet. I've got to learn a lot about them here in the next couple days, you know. Start looking at them a lot closer. I think they're a tournament team. I do, just watching them on TV 2 or 3 times, but in terms of the keys and all that stuff, especially just coming off that, you know, be a tough environment. We know that. An opportunity against a team who I think is capable of beating anybody in our league. They've got size. They're really good in the offensive glass. They guard you like LSU. They can really space you with multiple guards. They can go make plays. Their ball screen continuity stuff is very difficult to defend. So it'd be a very difficult game for us, just like every road game in our league.
Coach, you came out of a battle on the road against Kentucky. What does it mean just to come back and get such a close win at home before going on to another road game and just for the rest of the season as a whole?
Huge. I mean, again, and I know everyone's probably sick of me using that word response, and my team probably is as well, but just to come back and have that emotional response and resiliency and come to practice and prepare the last 2 days the way we did. The shoot around today was really sharp. There's no, and you can't do it in this league, but I'm proud of our guys that it's against human nature. Human nature is to pout a little bit, and you know, we were down significantly, and that hasn't been the case. That was a first time for this team, and responded well. And then we responded in game here too, with holding a lead the whole game, and then losing that lead late and going to make a play. So this team's, we've got room for growth. We've got a ways to go. We've got opportunities to win more. Hopefully we continue to do that, but I'll be shocked if this team, if I'm not saying it when the ball stops bouncing for this team, that it was a resilient group all year.
Any other questions for Mike?
I was gonna ask you, Noah, I think if Wolf kind of looked that good, but he was in kind of what, last couple games and made a couple of big threes to start the second half. Do you feel like he can start getting some confidence again?
You know, Noah's confidence is never gonna waver. I haven't seen it waver. I've seen him miss shots. You know, he thinks the next one's going in. He's really even keel. He's really positive. He's a confident guy. Probably his teammates. You know, probably in us. Like, ooh, that we could settle in a little bit. It's nice to see it go in for him because he's one of our better scorers. Of course, early second half got to go in transition. He had a couple too that rattled in and out. You know, he almost broke it open. There were a couple times, if memory serves, for himself, you know, and for us. But he's really important to what we're doing.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.